When you're ready, Chair, we're now live on YouTube.
Okay, welcome everybody to the Wawne Parish Council meeting, 1st of April 2021. Apologies. Don't think there are any. No apologies, okay. Declarations of interest, please.
Finance, yeah, just Zoom on there. And there's the visit to pay for. I haven't sent on the invoice yet, but it'll be in the normal cost, about 300 quid, I think, if everybody's okay with that.
What for the Gazette, did you say, Jacob?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Minutes, to consider the approval of the minutes of the last meeting, which was the 4th of March 2021. So have we all had a yes, Steve?
Happy with that? I'm happy with them.
Yeah, is everybody else?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay. So they're approved then. Okay, matters arising and matters outstanding.
Yeah, they're all on the agenda or being sorted.
Good.
So they're all on the agenda?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, sorry. See, I might be a bit loud to you guys, but to me you're very softly spoken, so
Okay.
I'll struggle a little bit.
Okay.
All right.
What she actually means is we're both bloody deaf.
Yeah, he's right, we are deaf. Never mind. Finance and compliance, approval of monthly spend as we can see in front of us.
Yep.
Okay with that, everybody?
Yeah.
I don't have anything to say because it is year end, and as the clerk reminded me, we haven't really spent anything yet, and we haven't really received anything yet because it is the first of a new financial year.
All right, okay, right, that's fine. Okie dokie. We've got planning, construction of a dormer window to front to allow loft conversion and installation of roof light to the rear. That's Danfield Drove Lane, full planning permission.
Yeah.
Is that the cottage or the farm?
Yes, that's the detached cottage.
That's about halfway down.
Yes, that's the one.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
no problems.
Well,
No objections from me. None at all.
Christine?
Objections.
No.
All right, Jacob?
No, I've not had anything, and I can't see any reason why not.
Okay, so I think we can approve that.
Yeah.
Okay. Decisions. Erection of a children's climbing frame, 1 Fairman's Close, that was approved. And erection of a 1.2 metre high wall with railings and electric gate to front. That's Main Street, isn't it?
Street,
That
yeah.
one's been approved. Yeah, okay. Police matters.
One crime on the 29th of March. 2 bottles of wine was stolen from the shop.
That's not surprising.
No, that's not.
We actually
saw some quite unsavoury young gentlemen at the shop, and I think it may have been the 29th because we posted a letter.
but I can't be sure of the date. But they all had hoodies on and things like that.
Oh.
And I don't know, Jacob, have you got an email for Darren?
I've had an email from him about the crime, and I saw it a couple of days ago that it had come through. We can maybe find some more out from Darren if we want to, see if we find out who it is.
Well, I was just going to mention that the next evening after we saw them at the shop, we can't say it's the same people, but we saw 2 or 3 youths on scooters, fast bikes, bicycles, and they were on the back field. They weren't walking or anything, they were just whizzing along. But Louise would walk past them, that's my daughter, and she seemed to think that they were smoking something that they shouldn't have been smoking.
Right, okay. Well, I'll email Darren and put you in touch, and then if you can pass on the intelligence, because it might help.
Yeah, that might help, you don't know. Okay. community plan.
Not much to add on this, other than that we are still progressing with the community survey. Obviously, the community survey closes towards the end of April, the 25th, I think it is.
Yeah.
After which we will compile the responses. I'll create a bit of a report to give us a snapshot of the responses, and we can work on a revised draft community plan if we need to make any changes to it, depending on what people have said. And then we can present it at probably the June meeting. It won't be, I won't have it in time for the May meeting, so it'll probably be the June meeting. But apart from that, I haven't got anything else.
Steve? Yeah?
When we get the new, when's the next Gazette going out? Will we be able to time the release of an updated plan in line with the next Gazette, so we can send them out in one go?
I think so, because the next Gazette, the current Gazette is going out this month, and that covers April, May, and June. So the next Gazette will be out in July. Okay. So if we bring a community plan to the meeting in June, approve it in June, we can then have it ready and send a copy to all the households with the Gazette in July.
In July, okay.
Okay, all right. Are we getting on with the recreation ground?
From my point of view, we're just waiting on a few details to be confirmed from the people at East Riding Council. They've had a bit more information from us. It's just final details. Now, we have since been told we will need planning permission because of the moving of the site from the old area to the new area, and that's a fundamental change to the larger field. And it has also been suggested that we may have to Sport England or the Football Association.
Sorry about the cuckoo clock.
Right.
Sorry, Jacob.
We may have to consult Sport England or the Football Association with regards to the loss of the large field. But I don't think football's in its entirety has properly been played on there, and we are putting some football goals up anyway, or multi-use goals is the plan. So I can't see it being an issue. But once we can't really apply for planning permission until we have a finalised plan, and we won't have a finalised plan until we know what money we're getting. It's catch-22.
Yeah.
So me and Steve are working on that. We're just waiting for a few more details to be confirmed by East Riding.
Okay.
That's great.
Anything from you, Steve?
No, I'm okay with that. Thanks, Jacob.
Okay.
All right. Traffic calming.
Traffic calming for me is that we've got the data around Main Street.
Yeah.
Which says that the East Riding are doing nothing, no physical intervention on Main Street.
Right.
So do we as a council want to now pursue East Riding to say, can we go back to 30 in the village on Main Street, where we can then have the police patrols and get the speed cameras back in? Is that our next step for Main Street? Or do we wait now? We know we're getting physical intervention along Muse Road because that's met the criteria.
Hopefully we will.
Hopefully, yes, okay, but that'll be the plan. And wait till we've got a considered plan, because if the intervention brings about the mini roundabout that we've dreamt of, then that will affect Main Street speed.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Should we wait until we get the whole plan and then have one action, or do you want to pursue something now? Or do you want to shall we think about it, our options, until the next meeting?
I actually think that's a really good thing. We have a really good think about it, and then we can discuss how we all feel about it, because we all have different views about it, don't we?
Yeah.
That's
a really good thing.
Chair, could I just add something?
Of course you can.
It just, I would suggest, yes, we're going to think about, which is what I would have suggested anyway, but that we potentially wait for the report and outcome of the community survey to see if Main Street is identified as a hotspot, because people say speeding on Main Street is an issue, and we all know it is a bit of an issue, but we then also know, I know from doing the speed watch, that it's more of an issue on Mute Road.
Yeah.
So, let's wait until we've got a community survey done, so we know what the community actually think. I think would be a way forward before we make an actual decision.
When do you envisage the data available from that, Jacob?
Probably mid-May, because it ends at the end of April. We might have an indication for the May meeting, but
Right.
then we'll probably be present a report and a revised community plan at the June meeting.
Okay. All right. Well, we can have a really good think about it.
Yeah.
See all the data in front of us, which will help us even more to make better decisions. And we'll keep it on the agenda if everyone is in agreement with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Right. New councillor selection process.
Well, the only thing was in this one is have any of you any problems with the policy document that has been circulated?
I have none.
No, excellent document.
Okay, so we can vote.
Yeah.
I'll suggest it's a
Yes. Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So Anne and I will now turn that into an official document with the logo, and we can use that for the selection process.
Brilliant.
Okay.
I'll just come in on that.
Yeah.
Given that we may have to, or may not have to, move back to face-to-face meetings from June, the timetable will stay the same, but the certain elements of it might change. So, for example, when we have our June meeting, which was when we were going to announce who the top 5 candidates were, that was going to be done via Zoom. They were going to be invited into the Zoom, and their co-option was going to be read out. Obviously, if we're in person, they'll be in the public audience. They'll be invited from the public audience to sit at the tables with the councillors, be asked to say their co-option piece, and then there'll be councillors. We can, even if we aren't allowed to have parish council meetings after May the 7th, which is when the Coronavirus Act runs out, I believe. If we are allowed, even if we aren't allowed to have electronic meetings for the parish council at that point, we can still hold the interviews of those who apply via Zoom, because that's not a parish council, official parish council public meeting. They'll be obviously private meetings, so we can still hold those during the month of May as prescribed on the timetable.
Okay, I think that might be a safe option.
Yes.
Yeah. I think safe for everybody involved, because then we're not having to either hire the village hall or find a house that we can go to, and we aren't allowed in houses at the
No, we're not. No.
So it's
Good idea.
probably the safest way to go about it.
I think so. Yeah. I think that's definitely.
Are we going to vote on this and do this now?
Well,
we agreed the timetable at the last meeting.
Yes, I know, but I meant just your suggestion, Jacob.
Yeah.
I'm happy. I think it's great.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's fine. Sorry, Christine, did you want to say something? I saw you.
No, that's fine.
I thought you were waving your hand at me.
I was moving the speaker, that's all.
All right, okay. Sorry, Chair, carry on.
No, it's okay. Right, correspondence.
Sorry. Can we say on the previous one? Is this the point where we record the resignation of Pauline? And say the numbers?
Yeah, we can do so. Yeah.
So the numbers of councillors will increase. The number that we need will now increase.
Yes.
I don't know, Steve, sorry. And does it actually increase with the resignation of Pauline, or do we have to wait until a certain point?
I have no idea, I'll be honest.
Until the end of the month.
Check on the meeting, I can't talk.
As one to hold an election.
I'm not.
Sorry,
I'll read it. I'll basically say, because of the resignation, it's left a space. If we have until the end of April for parishioners to write to the Chief Executive of East Riding Council. If so many parishioners write to the Chief Executive of of East Riding Council, an election will be held at the parish council's expense, I believe, to elect a member to sit to fill the seat for Pauline.
Okay.
If after such a point there hasn't been enough electors write to the Chief Executive, we can co-opt. Now, I believe the cut-off is something like the 25th of April, which is the same day that our community survey ends. So if there isn't an election call for that one seat, it will just fall to 6 people available to co-opt rather than 5.
Yeah. And is that the poster I put up today, Anne?
Yes, yes.
Anne?
Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Will we send Pauline a thank you letter for her hard work on the
I think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah,
Yes,
definitely.
I think so. Anne, could you do that, please?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Next section is correspondence.
Correspondence. I believe you've got all the information there, Steve.
I have. I've got most of this. So
Okay.
the first one is around litter and
Yes.
Councillor Birch's statement that we would provide free equipment. We've got someone who's written in saying how can they get the equipment. So I'll work with Jacob and Anne over the next couple of weeks to make sure that we have a process in place, and we'll get back to the person that's written in to say this is how you can get your bag, this is how you can get your litter picker, etc.
Okay.
We've then got a individual concerned about the width of pavement, particularly at the Sutton Road Bridge, which is something we've been on with for the last 2 or 3 years.
Yes.
So I'll just extract bits from letters that we've sent in the past, and Anne can get a reply to that one.
Okay.
We've got one that I don't understand, and there's one in about has been rejected for our application for a priority speed sign. We've never applied for a priority speed sign. It's one of the options that we've talked about in our discussions with the East Riding. So I'm going to get Anne to go back to the individual and ask for clarification.
I think on that one, Steve, if I may, we did ask about a priority speed sign, and it was looked at by East Riding. And at the point at which they looked at it, they said no to it because there wasn't enough.
That was 2
data.
2 years ago, though, Jacob.
Yeah. That's when it was last looked at properly by East Riding, which is what I think that resident is referring to. That obviously, at that point, it had been rejected by East Riding.
Okay. All right. Then we've got a resident that wrote to us last month and has written to us this month about speeding along Main Street. We're addressing that one as we assured her we would do last month by putting a piece in the Gazette.
Okay.
Both last month's and this month's input from that individual will be addressed by the Gazette.
Okay.
We've then got a question from somebody about why we didn't do a survey and why we have made changes to Muse Road. And that person will get the same response as we sent out 3 months ago to an individual, which will be pointing them to the decisions made by the East Riding Council and the fact that the Muse Road changes are nothing to do with us.
No.
Again, Anne and I have got the background to that one from a previous email, so we'll knock something together for that one.
Okay.
We've then had a complaint about the parking letter drop, and the individual that sent that in has then sent a further email to the parish council showing photographs of other cars and their parking around the village. And Jacob and I have knocked a response together, and over the last month it's been changed 4 or 5 times. And what we'll do tonight, Chair, is send it to you for a third party overview. If you and Andrew can have a look at it, Christine will go from there.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
And then we've got a letter, an email about planning on Main Street.
Right.
I'm not bothered so much about the question. It's about how we reply, because the email address, the name on an email address, and the contents within the letter are 3 different names. We reply to emails, and we have done for years, of people that we know.
Yes.
When we don't know someone, and we also reply to emails when it's a general information of what's in the public knowledge. It's about pavement, it's about litter picking.
Yeah.
When we get an email in about a specific question for a specific house or a specific person, I don't think we should be as casual and reply with an email. We need more information.
I agree. I think you agree with that. Yeah.
I mean, I did actually do a letter earlier on to everybody saying that we should have addresses and names to be
Yes,
able to respond.
I agree. So I think what I'll ask Anne to do, if we can do, is get a steer from our advisory body, from Anlica,
Yeah.
about what we should do when it's someone we don't know or it's a specific problem. As I said,
Yeah.
I don't think emails are the way forward.
No, no.
I agree.
Anne and I will take an action on that one.
Good.
We've got another input about further problems with GDPR, and a response has been drafted that and sent today, so we're okay with that one, and dealt with that one. We've got an input from the East Riding Council, which was about the continuation of remote meetings, and then following that, an hour later, we got an email from Anlica saying that the government didn't have time in this Parliament to approve ongoing meetings, remote meetings, and that we had to go back to face-to-face meetings from the 7th of May. Jacob thinks that is going to be overturned, and we will be allowed to have remote meetings. Anlica has also given us a get-out for 1 month or something where Anne can decide that we are not ready to meet. In theory, our last Zoom meeting will be May the 6th, because on May the 7th, that's when the lifting is, and our June meeting should be face-to-face, but only if we feel safe.
Okay.
Great.
We've got one final input, and that is about the stile at the recreation ground, which is in ill repair. And Anne will write back to the person saying that the stile is not our responsibility, but we'll also take an action. We will write to the owner of the stile and say, your stile, it needs repair. Are you going to repair it, or what we're going to do in the future?
Okay.
And that's all the items under correspondence.
That's great. Has anybody else got any other correspondence?
No.
No. Jacob, I can't see you. No.
No, nothing from me. It's all been covered.
Okay, so councillors' reports, any items for future agenda, please?
Nothing from me.
No, I think we've covered most things.
No, nothing for me.
And was that nothing from you, Jacob?
Yep, nothing from me.
Right, that's great. Issues for communications. I think we've covered it, don't you?
Yep, happy with that.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Any other business?
Not from me.
Not that I can think of. The only thing is the next agenda item, but obviously that'll be covered.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, move on. APM.
If I may, I'll take this one just to give some background. Obviously, May is the month that we hold our annual parish meeting and our annual general meeting. The annual parish meeting is typically half an hour, 20 minutes of open forum where the chair would explain what we've done in the last year and what we hope to do in the following year. And then invite questions from the public, and it's a very open, frank discussion. It's not a minuted discussion, it's not a minuted meeting, it's just a general discussion. And followed, then there will be the AGM, where we elect our officers, chair, vice chair, and members and chairs of subcommittees, etc.
Yeah.
And then after that, we go into the normal meeting.
Right.
My proposal for the annual parish meeting, because we cannot have it face to face, would be that we introduce a section on the website called Annual Parish Meeting and have a title of Ask Your Question. Encourage residents to write to us via that method, via the post, with all their details, address and name and stuff. And then we can answer their question. Obviously, their name won't be read out. It'll just be the question. We'll read their question out. And then we as a parish council can discuss it on Zoom. And obviously, again, it will be live streamed on YouTube because it's a public meeting. And that will hopefully answer the question. It won't be as free-flowing as a face-to-face meeting, but as we know, it's probably the easiest way to do it. We obviously already have the ability to discuss items of correspondence anyway, and if anybody contacts us, but it would probably be basically a longer version of the correspondence / open forum section, but via Zoom. I think that's probably the easiest way to go about it, and then we just encourage people to submit a question via the clerk, via the website, via email, as long as we have all their details. Obviously, they could ring up and leave a voicemail for the clerk to pick up the question, as long as they leave all the correct contact details, so we know it's from somebody within our parish.
That's great. Thank you for that. And the next meeting, as you say, will be Thursday, the 6th of May. And we will see you all then. But we will see you earlier at 6:30 for the 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you.
Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.